that is that. We're going to move on to our next game, and this one is actually another one of those underrated games that people probably aren't looking at. SEC fans definitely are. This is number 22 Florida at Kentucky at 12 p.m. Kentucky, they're coming in at 4-0, but both teams coming in undefeated in the SEC so far. So obviously, they're trying to tie Georgia for first in the SEC East, barring an upset. I'll go over Georgia this weekend. Florida seems to be battle-tested, right? They've gone to Utah. They played there. They beat Tennessee at home in the Swamp. Kentucky, however, the toughest team that Kentucky has faced is Vanderbilt, if that tells you anything. Team breakdown, I thought this was important. The Florida offense, they're averaging 413 yards a game, 248 pass yards, 165 rush yards. Kentucky, 397 yards a game, 396 pass yards, 132 rushing yards. Florida D, they've given up 245 yards a game. They've allowed 163 passing yards and 82 rushing yards a game. The Kentucky defense, they're allowing 293 yards a game. They're allowing 216 pass yards and 78 rush yards a game. Now, why did I go all through that? Because I'm going to make some obvious statements based on that. Florida runs the ball extremely well. Duh, Trevor Etienne. Kentucky throws the ball extremely well. Duh, Devin Leary. Florida has trouble defending the pass. Kentucky has trouble defending the run. This game should be interesting. The ESPN FPI is actually Kentucky 52%, and the spread is Kentucky 2.5. I'm not going to make my pick, but if you want my honest opinion, I think that spread is in their favor simply because it's at home, because this is going to be a seriously even matchup. One of the most even matchups I think we have on this spread of games this week. So, Isaac, unfortunately for you, you're picking first. Who you got?
This one is like a typical SEC East matchup. It's the battle for who can be viewed as second tier to Georgia. Now, that said, Florida's coming off a couple of weeks ago. Big win in the Swamp over the Volunteers. Again, Tennessee's not that great. Kentucky, they've got Devin Leary, good quarterback, transfer from NC State. I would agree. I think the spread is in favor of the Wildcats simply because it's in Lexington. The toughest team Kentucky's played has been Vanderbilt. I don't like this, but I've got the Gators. I think I like them by a touchdown. I think they'll cover the underdog spread. I think that Napier, they've got some momentum going after a couple of wins under their belt, and I think they're going to knock off Kentucky, take a tie with Georgia in the first place in the SEC East. And just remember, it always sucks to be a Florida Gator, but this weekend, I like the blue and orange.
Yeah, I mean, I look at this game and it makes me kind of sad for the SEC. Let's take a second. We feel bad for the SEC right now because this game is really one of these kind of games. And, really this game just determines who's the least bad in the SEC out of the decent teams. Really, Florida's offense is a very well-balanced team. Defense, kind of meh. They played very well against Tennessee. Decent against Utah, I guess, but also non-existent. But I see no way of Kentucky winning this game. Again, third time's a charm. The spread is in favor because it's in Lexington. But I don't see any reason to pick Kentucky in this game. They haven't played anybody competitive. Florida just knocked off Tennessee. Could they have had just a really good game? I think so. But this is the battle of the least worst teams. So, yeah.
So, I'm going to go back to the old iPad here. I mentioned that Florida runs the ball. Kentucky throws the ball. So really this game is going to come down to defense. But then you look and you notice that Florida does not defend the pass well, and Kentucky does not defend the run well. This is actually going to be a pretty good, close game. I think it's going to be a good one. It's at Kentucky, which definitely gives the Wildcats an edge. And you know what? Because Florida's defense doesn't cover the pass, I'm going to go with the Wildcats in this one. I got Kentucky to win this game at home. I promise I'm not just trying to go opposite. I really think that Kentucky's going to have an edge. I see them having that edge. Yes, they haven't played anybody important, but they have played well. Their defense has played well, and I think that that's going to give them an edge with it being at home. And just because Florida cannot cover the pass, I think that Kentucky's going to be able to drive up and down with explosive plays on them, and I think that Kentucky's going to not upset, I guess, because the spread's in their favor, but pull off a win that not a lot of people are expecting them to pull off. That's what I got.
We just couldn't have another triple pick, could we, Mason?
No, we could not.
Oh well. It's nice though. Thank you for helping me in this pick podium. Our next game is
Bro. Only if you get it.
Only if I get it.